But you're more than just a getaway car. You're more than just a free ride to heaven. More than a rescue from this life. Last minute. You're more than just a...
Hey everybody, welcome back to How to Write Songs. My name is Sam Mizell. Thank you so much for tuning in and visiting mine and Becca's YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. There'll be little buttons at the end, and then also there should be a little watermark over to the right-hand side, somewhere down in there. But onward and upward. We're doing tip number 3 today, and it is keeping your song straight. Now, I have been asked a few times, even here recently, to do some song coaching and also to do some critique of lyrics. And these are the 4 pitfalls that I find in most of the critiques and stuff that I see. So I wanted to share them with you, see if we can kind of go through them together and figure them out. Okay, so the first one, and this is a big one of these things is not like the other. Now, when you're writing your song, you need to stack up your lyrics, and I would say play this game. You remember in Sesame Street, one of these things is not like the other, and see if all of the language that you're using, the types of language, the nouns, pronouns, the verbs, all of those things, see if they are of similar language, because what I find in pitfall number 1 is that people will think that the listener knows what's in their heart or knows what's in their mind or knows what they're talking about when they're writing the song. And that is not the case. When a listener listens to your song, they don't know what's in your mind. They don't know what's in your heart. So you have to make sure that your lyrics are saying exactly what you want the listener to know. And I find this happens a lot. So let's go through this kind of dummy lyric here. Moses was in Egypt. He parted the Red Sea. He led the Israelites. So I will praise you in the storm. Now, I know this is kind of really obvious that this one right here does not fit, but let's talk about why it doesn't fit. Okay, first of all, you've got Moses, you've got a person, you've got Egypt, you've got geography, you've got Red Sea, you've got parted, led. These are all things that kind of do with each other. This is very kind of biblical language. These are all, references to geography, people groups. They're very specific. And then here you've got, well, I will praise you in the storm. Now, you could say that the writer was trying to go, the Israelites really were praising God because Moses led them through the Red Sea, which I totally understand that that's what you probably meant to say. But that's not what you said. And the listener was listening through here, and then all of a sudden they had to make a choice. Okay, what is the person? Who are we talking about here? Because all these are kind of declarative, and then all of a sudden it goes to first person. I find this mistake a lot. So be sure that when you're writing a song, take time to take every one of your lyrics and kind of say, does this really fit? Does the language fit? See, probably what you should say is Moses was in Egypt. He parted the Red Sea. He led the Israelites on the dry land. Now, here we've got sea, we've got land, we've got the story kind of encapsulates. So now all these things are kind of like they're supposed to be. So just make sure that each of your lines has the same language, has the same thing, and makes a cohesive story. Okay, number 2. I find this all the time, and just so you know, I've made all these mistakes. So I'm not trying to tell you something that I haven't done. Okay, mismatch and misplacement. Okay, so let's go through this lyric, little dummy lyric here. One day I saw a skunk. It was black and white. I love driving on old back roads. These really don't have anything to do with each other. They kind of do. I mean, when I go on my drives, like me and Becca and our family, we live out in the country, and we love going down old back roads, and we have seen plenty of skunks on the road, and I love it. But let's look at this as far as mismatch, misplacement. Okay, so let's replace, or let's kind of get this back to where it follows like a sequence. So I would say, let's take that out, put it more here. I love driving on old back roads. One day I saw a skunk and it was black and white. Okay, now that makes more of a timeline and gives more of a sequence of events. Okay, then also, here's another thing that to me is getting way down deep into the weeds. But your first line of this verse is about driving, or your first action is driving on old back roads. So to me, you have, to get really particular, you have one of two ways to go. You can go, I love seeing animals. Oh, I can't spell. I love seeing animals on old back roads. One day I saw a skunk, it was black and white. Now, I love seeing animals is way more about what you're talking about as your skunk and the black and white. And so to me, this changing this and matching the action more to what you're trying to say really helps in the description. Or if you wanted to, let's reverse here. I love driving on old back roads. I like feeling, I can't spell, the wind in my hair. Okay, now driving, feeling wind. Okay, so here we've got more. You're using this driving lyric here, this word here, your action here, and these lines support driving more than seeing the animals support driving. So this is just getting, like I said, getting way down deep in the weeds. When you're picking out your actions and stuff, make sure that it reflects the rest of what you're talking about so that the listener can grab onto what you're saying. All right, mismatch and misplacement. That's number 2. Okay, now here is the huge one. Okay, non sequiturs. Okay, I'm not going to be all down on worship music in the church, but I see this so much. Lord, your mercy is awesome. Your grace fills the earth. Your face shines upon me. I will praise you in the storms. Okay, now at first glance, these may seem as if they go together, but really they're just statements that don't have really anything to do with each other. We say mercy and grace and shine upon you and praise and stuff, and they're all kind of this language that is kind of a language of the church. But when you really get down to it, if you're talking about writing a song and being more specific, they don't really have anything to do with each other. Lord, your mercy is awesome. Okay, so here's even back to the mismatch and misplacement. Okay, awesome and fills the earth, shines upon me, and praise you. All these are different. They're all different actions. They're all different descriptions. Some of them are declarative. Some of them are first person. And so to me, what I would do, the advice that I would give is just scratch this and go, Lord, your mercy is awesome, and just write a song about mercy. Don't try to bring in grace and face and praise and all these other things. Don't try to bring all that in, because once you've brought all that in, that just adds more of things to write about that don't really have anything to do with the song. And most of the time, the title will be "I Believe in You," or Jesus, God of love, and then these are the verses. And so a lot of times they're just non sequitur statements that don't have anything to do with each other. Make sure that when you're writing your song that you're trying to say cohesive things. And if you want to write a song about your grace fills the earth, let's just take that. Your grace fills the earth. Your grace covers me. Your grace is sufficient. Your grace is more than I deserve. Okay, now, like I said, this is off the top of my head, but right now, your song at this point, at least it is cohesive to the point where you have one idea and the listener can anticipate and can think about what God's grace is to them or to you or to whoever you're singing the song. So There you go. Non sequiturs, get those out. All right, another big one. Now, this one I see all the time. Was at church last Sunday and saw this firsthand. Huge, big, huge writers do this all the time. The question is, to whom is your song intended? Okay, Lord, you are amazing. That's between you and God. You're telling God something. And then his love is great. So now you're talking to someone else. Can you feel it all around you? Now you're getting specific to an audience. I will praise the Lord in the storm. That's more of a declarative statement. So you see how the persons change, who you're talking to is changing. And so to me, if you're going to keep all this stuff straight, if you want to write better songs, then let's change this. Lord, you are amazing. Your love is great. I can feel it all around me. Not a question mark. I will praise not the Lord. I will praise you in the storm. And don't write a song called I Will Praise You in the Storm. That's tip number 5. Just kidding. But here, now we have a consistent thing to whom our song is intended. You are talking to God. Lord, you are amazing. Your love is great. I can feel it all around me. I will praise you in the storm. So you're talking to God and telling him what he is, how you can feel his love, and how you are praising him in the storm. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's do a little recap here. Keeping your song straight. One of these things is not like the other, okay? Let's make sure that all of our lyrics are tied in, have the same language, same geography, same people, and that you're not mix matching philosophical with tangible. Then mismatch and misplacement. I love driving on old back roads. I like feeling the wind in my hair. Okay, this is one cohesive statement, but remember I saw a skunk. It was black and white. I love driving on old back roads. We kind of reversed these lines a little bit, and we experimented with, if we're going with the skunk, maybe we need to use a different action. So there you go. Pitfall number 3, non sequiturs. So we had all these lines that were kind of, your grace fills the earth, your love is amazing. So let's make sure when we're writing our songs, we're not just saying statements that don't have anything to do with each other. If you're going to write a song about grace, mercy, love, peace, joy, maybe narrow. Maybe box yourself in and say, okay, I'm only going to write about grace, or I'm only going to write about mercy. And that will help you write more cohesive thoughts, okay? And then the last pitfall, to whom is your song intended? Lord, you are amazing. His love is great. Can you feel it all around you? I will praise you in the storm. Obviously, we don't know who we're talking about here. We got some to the Lord, about the Lord. This is to an audience, and then a personal thing where you're not really talking to anyone. You're just making a declarative statement. So anyway, these are my 4 pitfalls that I see all the time. Thank you for listening. I hope this helps. And we will catch you on song tip number 4 coming up.